Moon Palace is a stay-at-one, play-at-all resort, which means you can stay at one particular section of the resort and have access to all three areas: Sunrise, Nizook, and Grand. In fact, Moon Palace will also provide a free bus ride to one of their sister resorts, Beach Palace in Cancun. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. There are a few interesting things that set Moon Palace apart from any other resort I've been to. First thing is their $1,500 resort credit. The resort credit can be used on a number of things. For example, excursions, up to $300 at the spa, fancy private beach dinners, and can even be used at certain things in the shops. It's important to note upon checkout, you'll be required to pay the 16% tax on anything that you've used your resort credit for. Also, the list of excursions they offer is mediocre, but hey, you can't beat free. The second is the free Wi-Fi throughout the resort. It didn't matter if I was in my room or down at the pool, I always had a great connection. And finally, free unlimited phone calls to Canada. This is a walkthrough of the Sunrise lobby. The lobby at Sunrise is massive and impressive, but I can't help but feel like I'm entering a lobby of a mall or a city building. It's nice and modern, and it's clean. It doesn't feel like Mexico to me. I want to see the greenery, the thatch, the wood, the colors of Mexico, and that's what I like to see. Down the right corridor of the lobby, there's the shops. You can use your resort credit here to get certain things. You can use it on, I think it was $75 on certain sunglasses, on certain watches. I think you can get tequila, cigars, things like that. They're really nice shops, check them out. Down the left-hand side of the Sunrise lobby is a corridor where you'll find some bars and some restaurants. Momo, the Japanese restaurant's down there. In the center of the lobby is the lobby bar. It's a good place to sit down if you're waiting for your restaurant table to open, or if you just want to sit down and have a drink. It's really comfortable in there. Near the rear entrance of the lobby is a coffee shop. They have treats there. You can sit down and have coffee if you want. I believe it's open 24 hours, and it's really nice. I'm not gonna lie, I might have stopped there a couple times and grabbed some treats. The Nizook lobby is very similar to Sunrise lobby. It's got the lobby bar and some restaurants surrounding it. It also has some shops down one of the corridors. It's just not quite as big. Our lobby was the Grand lobby. I was expecting to pull up and see this massive lobby just like the other two lobbies were. Unfortunately, it wasn't as nice. As a matter of fact, it was just a small desk at the bottom of our villa. The reason was because they're still working on the Grand section and the lobby wasn't finished yet, so they're still under construction there. It was still okay, but it wasn't what I was expecting. As it stands, I'm only rating the lobbies 3 out of 5. The reason for that is because the Grand lobby just, it needs to be finished off. Once that's done, I would definitely bump it up to 4 out of 5. The Grand lobby was pretty horrible, but wait till you get a load of this room. It changes everything. I want to make it clear that the review I'm giving this room is strictly based on the Grand section. I would like to mention that although we had a great location, some rooms in Grand may be closer to the construction zone. It did seem like they were trying to keep the noise down to a bare minimum. Our room was my favorite part of the whole vacation. It is by far the best room I've stayed in. There are so many things that put this above all other rooms. First of all, it's a huge room. I've never stayed in a room this big before. It's got a large flat screen TV and it's loaded with channels. There's an Italian coffee espresso machine, fridge, and liquor dispenser. The fridge was stocked with Corona, Heineken, and Coors. I was very impressed with the selection we had. We spent lots of time in the double jacuzzi. It was incredible. The best part of the whole room had to be the huge terrace. I sat out there for hours. It was just spectacular. Something else that we had that we've never had at any other resort was 24-hour free room service and turn down service. If you're planning on coming to Moon Palace, make sure you request a room in the grand section. These rooms are amazing. I easily rate these rooms a 5 out of 5. The resort offers many activities that you can choose from. For example, me and Cassie rented bikes. You can't take the bikes everywhere in the resort, but they do have a dedicated path that runs across all 3 sections. We also used our resort credit at the Oz Spa for a couples massage. You can use up to $300 of your resort credit there to get pampered. I've never had the massage treatments before, but I fully intend to do it again and again. If you haven't done it, do it. Trust me on this one. A big draw to the resort is the golfing facilities. I'm not a golf enthusiast, so I can't elaborate much on that, but I can tell you that many people have told me it's great. You'll also find a mini golf course located in the Nizook section by the rentals. Okay, so I should probably warn you, apparently there's alligators around the resort, on the golf course, wherever. Just be, oh, it's just an iguana. If golfing's not your thing, head down to the beach. There you'll find some jet skis for rent and the dolphin experience. For $70 each, you can get about a half an hour playtime on the jet skis each. Your guide will take you up the coast towards Cancun and back again, but he'll likely let you stop for about 10 minutes to take a dip in the pristine water. Unfortunately, the jet skis aren't covered by the resort credit, but the dolphin experience is. If you plan on doing the dolphin experience, don't expect to be bringing home any pictures or videos, unless you plan on paying a small fortune. The staff doesn't allow you to bring any of your own picture-taking devices. Instead, they'd rather you buy their packages for outrageous prices. A single portrait is around $35. The Flow Rider is a fun activity to check out. It's located by the Nizook pools. It's probably geared a little more for the kids, but Cassie and I just couldn't resist giving it a try. Nothing fancy, just on our stomachs. For the ladies out there willing to try this, make sure your tops are untight. Or don't, I don't care. I hear the Flow Rider tends to disrobe people. That's just a few of the activities you can expect to find at Moon Palace. I'm gonna rate the activity selection 4.5 out of 5. I really don't have many complaints about the pools. There was always lots of activity around the pools, and we never had a hard time finding loungers. Well, that's not entirely true. The one small pool in the grand section close to our villa, loungers were hard to come by. There's very few of them and they're cushioned, so I can't really blame people for scooping them up. Me and Cassie do prefer the more exciting pools, so my only real complaint is the long walk from Grand to Nizuka or Sunrise to the more exciting pools. Most of the pools are lined with bars and barbecues. I rarely had to wait for drinks or food. I found the service was quite good as well. Like the activities, I also rate the pools a 4.5 out of 5. I'm sure that if you've done any research on Moon Palace, you've already heard that the beaches are the biggest complaint of Moon Palace. The truth is, they really weren't as horrible as I was expecting. The sand is soft and clean. I didn't see a single rock on the beach. Unfortunately, if you want to do any swimming at all, then head back up to the pool. The beach is a great place to lounge and relax, but I don't recommend swimming. Most of the water is dark and murky, and seagrass grows everywhere. Having said that, there is the odd patch of turquoise water with a sandy sea bottom. I wasn't about to leave the resort without doing a little bit of snorkeling. And as a result, I ran into a group of barracudas, or is it a school?
Shh, do you see it? Crikey, a stingray. I better keep back.
If you look carefully, you can see his outline. On the flip side, the resort offers free daily bus rides to their sister resort, Beach Palace in Cancun, and it's here that you'll find the great beach. Fortunately, the bus ride's only about 25 minutes. At Beach Palace, you have all the same amenities that you have back at Moon Palace. You can go to the bars, the pools, the restaurants. They give you 4 hours of time to do that before the next bus goes back, so make use of your time and check out. So now you have the lowdown on the beach situation. The beaches are going to get a low rating of 2.5 out of 5. Okay, so the dining situation at Moon Palace isn't exactly an a la carte system per se. It's more just restaurants, so I'm going to refer to them as restaurants. There's a total of 14 restaurants at Moon Palace, and only 2 of them require reservations. Also, there's no limit to how often you use the restaurants. All of the restaurants offer buffet service for breakfast and lunch. Now, having unlimited restaurant access is nice, but we did find that when dinner time comes, there is a lot of confusion around the restaurant entranceways. Because of the dinner rush around 6 o'clock, I suggest getting there around 8. We usually had a 15 to 25 minute wait for a table. For me personally, the restaurants that we did visit never really felt that romantic. I wouldn't exactly consider myself a food connoisseur, but I'll give my input how I see it. I found most of the meals were good, but they weren't the best I've had. The buffet quality is the same, but it did lack in selection. I found the room service food was mediocre. There was small things like bacon on my burger wasn't cooked enough, but it was still a delicious late night snack after a busy day. Where Moon Palace did shine in food quality was the poolside barbecues. The chef will make your burger, steak, or chicken right in front of you, and it was always good. I'm gonna rate the food 3 out of 5, but my wife believes I didn't rate it high enough. Just some food for thought. The Sky Bar, located above the Sunrise lobby, was a nice place to stop for drinks. There are many types of bars throughout the resort, and everyone should be able to find one that appeals to them. There's also a nightclub called Noir, and for the kids, there's an arcade with a snack bar and a dance floor. There are, I believe, 2 stages set up for performances every night. The stage performances that we did see were kind of bland. At other resorts we've been to, the performances were a little more extravagant, almost burlesque style. Aside from the stage performances, there's various other shows put on throughout the resort. We were lucky enough to stumble across the aquatic show in the Grand Pool. And later in the week, the fire show on the beach. And both of these performances were fairly decent. We found it quite difficult to find information on the shows. We didn't find out until the second last day that an entertainment schedule can be obtained at the front desk. What would have been ideal is if they had a list of these shows in each room. I feel the nightlife and entertainment deserves a 4 out of 5 rating. Before I finish, there are a few things about Moon Palace that do need to be noted. Be prepared to relentlessly be approached by guest services to attend a Palace Resorts timeshare presentation. They will try to entice you with as many freebies as they can, but this can be to your advantage if you give them a little bit of your time. The lobby-to-lobby system could use some changes. The resort uses large coach buses to transport people between lobbies. I find this to be overkill for the average of 10 people that get on the bus. I would suggest to them that they use the open-air trolleys like I've seen in other resorts. People would get around much quicker and be able to enjoy the scenery. I loved Moon Palace and I would absolutely go back. Overall, I'd say Moon Palace deserves an 8 out of 10.